welcome to all our viewers in every corner of the globe. As Ronnie Moran leads Liverpool out, Malcolm Crosby leads Sunderland out. And here come the teams for the 1991-92 FA Cup final. And a rapturous welcome here at Wembley Stadium. Who would have believed at the start of this season that these two men would be leading their teams out? Moran standing in today for Graham Souness, although Souness has travelled with the Liverpool party, and Crosby, who only took charge at Sunderland in the middle of this season, and none in this Sunderland crowd today could have believed at the turn of the year that it would all end up in May in the FA Cup final here. Well, it's been a dank, cool May morning in London. There's been plenty of rain overnight, and that has certainly softened the surface here. But will it be any sort of leveller? As Sunderland, who've had a disappointing season in Division 2, try to take on one of the true giants. And Graham Souness has not only travelled with Liverpool, he has changed into his tracksuit and will make his way out here to sit closer to the action, at the least of it, just weeks after his heart surgery. Still very much a man on the mend. A wonderful occasion, as ever, and the dignitaries will be led out here by the Duke and Duchess of Kent for the introduction to the two teams in time-honoured fashion. Sunderland fans were pleased to hear of the arrival of His and Her Highness the Duke and Duchess. Ironically, the last time they were here as guests of honour, Sunderland won the FA Cup. Famously, one of the most famous FA Cup finals of all time, against Leeds United. But is that an omen for what will happen here today? Mark Wright, captaining Liverpool, starts the introductions. What a climax to his first season with the club. Bruce Grobbelaar, as ever, at home on this stage, at Wembley stage he's graced so often already. Bert Millerchip, the chairman of the FA, and Graham Kelly, the chief executive, accompanying Her Highness the Duchess of Kent there, along with Gordon McKeague, on what has been already a momentous week for English football, with the announcement that England will be host for Euro 96. What a huge shot in the arm for the game here, and let's hope that this wonderful club occasion turns into a fitting showcase for all that is best about English football. Ronnie Moran, 43 years at Anfield, so popular all round the game, and his many friends in football will be thrilled for him today, given the honour by Souness of leading his beloved Liverpool out. No question, though, that behind the smiles, Liverpool know that they are huge favourites here today. And what of the underdog Sunderland? It's all new to so many of these players. Paul Bracewell, captain of Sunderland, leading the dignitaries down his line. And Malcolm Crosby, appointed permanently as Sunderland manager only last week, having taken the helm at the turn of the year at Roker, replacing Dennis Smith. And what a transformation in his fortunes and the club's. Philip Don is our FA Cup final referee. Rob Harris from Oxford, John Hilditch from Stoke-on-Trent are the linesmen, and the reserve official, Kelvin Morton. And it's as big an occasion for any of those men as for any of the players. And equally, such an honour for them. So all the waiting and all the talking is just about over. The teams will break to the other ends here at Wembley today. And what a roar greets them. So down to business in this FA Cup final. Bruce Grobbelaar and Steve Nicol, each with 3 previous FA Cup final appearances for Liverpool. No Ronnie Whelan and no John Barnes today. 20-year-old Steve McManaman, the youngest player on either side in this final, only returning here after injury in the semi-final 5 weeks ago. And for Sunderland, for so many, an extraordinary turn in their careers, like number 2, Gary Ayres, who comes in place of the unfortunate and injured John Kay. Ayres himself has been out of the game for so long with serious injuries. And a place at number 6 for David Rush. He won't be 21 years of age until next week. John Byrne has scored in every round along the way and hopes today to join a very exclusive club. The unlucky man there, certainly Paul Hardyman among the subs. He has played in every cup tie this season, but 6 of those Sunderland players appear here for the first time in their careers today. Jan Molby was magnificent here against Everton in '86, and they need his leadership. One or two suggestions that Liverpool may try to vary the expected routine defensively here today, so we'll take a close eye on that once the game settles down. And for Steve McManaman, an incredible end to his first full season as a first-team player at Anfield, and he and young Mike Marsh, very much the rookies in this Liverpool squad. They sat on the coach today together and walked out here for a feel of the turf an hour or so ago together. Tony Norman has been magnificent in his turn for Sunderland on this road to the final, and in his own way as much of a character as Grobbelaar in the other goal. But they'll need more heroics from him, certainly. And Gary Ayres, who could have dreamt that he would make it to an FA Cup final when his career seemed ripped up by injury? All is set then. Sunderland lost the toss and have changed strip, not the famous red and white stripes today. It's Liverpool in their equally famous red. Here we go then. The 111th FA Cup final is underway. Almost. Little too keen. At the second time of asking, John Byrne gets Sunderland going forward. First touch for McManaman. Nicol with the throw. Michael Thomas gives David Burrows a touch, and it does very much look as though Burrows has started alongside Mark Wright in the centre of the Liverpool defence. That was talked about, rumoured, and it looks very much to be the case. Atkinson got on it for Sunderland. Ian Rush tracking back, just overdoing it. The challenge on Rush, his namesake David Rush, Gives the first free kick to Sunderland. Easily picked out by Wright. Paul Bracewell takes the throw. Rogan. One in the air by Burrows. It dropped for Byrne in a promising situation. He's a very good striker of the ball, John Byrne. And it's a promising little opening by Sunderland here. Unaccustomed role certainly for Burrows as a centre-half, and the last touch came off Peter Davenport, I think. It wasn't a very authoritative clearing header from Burrows. Rob Jones forward for Liverpool. Ian Rush showed for it. Michael Thomas. Rogan loving those sort of challenges. That'll make him feel quite at home here at Wembley today. So too Gary Bennett gets his first stern challenge in, and overall you feel Sunderland have made an excellent start here in the first few minutes. Players who might have had nerves today getting stuck in early, getting good touches and forcing Liverpool back. It's definitely soft underfoot here after all the rain. One or two players losing their footing. The Liverpool players that we spoke to, however, notably Dean Saunders before kick-off, said he hoped that would help Liverpool with their slick passing game. They've opened it up here. Michael Thomas might have opened the scoring in Liverpool's first attack, and right on cue Liverpool's passing did open up Sunderland. Ray Houghton with the ball in. Michael Thomas alert. That's a clever little ball by Houghton, right through the heart of the Sunderland defence. Credit Tony Norman for getting out of the feet. But that's what Liverpool hoped they might be able to do, pass their way through Sunderland. First chance. Forward to McManaman. Atkinson out to guard him. He got a foot in somehow. David Rush got close as well. Offside against Davenport. But not much sign early on here that Sunderland are overawed by the task. Certainly a well-prepared game plan today by Malcolm Crosby. Bennett charging in to fill it down. They might be a bit short-handed at the back as a result. It's Dean Saunders for Liverpool. Excellent covering tackle by Ayres. And then Armstrong stepped in to complete the tidying up. Bracewell leads Sunderland out. Armstrong went again. Well, it started brightly, this FA Cup final. A sight of goal for Sunderland at one end, a clear chance for Liverpool at the other. And both sets of players clearly determined to give us entertainment. Houghton. Burrows to right. Rob Jones, and again Rogan got very close to him and made another good crunching challenge. Byrne won his challenge too. Sunderland have got 3-on-3 here. It's John Byrne right down the midriff of Grobbelaar. Excellent work by Rogan, and it's a good start by Sunderland too. Space opening up. We could be in for something of a Wembley classic here. McManaman has a dart at Ayres, comes inside. Steve Nicol arrives. Rush did well, but so too did Thomas. Nicol continued his run. Norman stretching and needed help. Gordon Armstrong put it over the top. And just as well for Sunderland. Right climbed. Out as far as Michael Thomas. No handball against Mulby. Steve Nicol. Wright had stayed forward. Ian Rush so sharp onto it as ever. And Tony Norman sharply down. Second good save by Norman. What a season he's had, and what an FA Cup run in particular. Clever work by Wright. He knew Rush would come onto it. Saunders, Houghton. Beautifully done by Mulby. Dean Saunders just brushed aside. Philip Dunn saw it. It was clever by Gary Bennett, but caught out by the referee nonetheless. McManaman to Nicol. Saunders again, they got close to him, and this time it was Bracewell who was strong into his challenge. Liverpool's 1 and 2 touch, just showing signs every now and then of getting started. Rob Jones, composed under the pressure. Did give it away though. Rogan forward. Just had the idea of getting Davenport on a run. Nicol. Thomas beat by Atkinson. Davenport. Sunderland have got plenty of men forward again. Oh, there were all sorts of possibilities, including Armstrong coming in on the back post. And really and truly, Gary Ayres might have made more of that. The worry for Liverpool is how short-handed they are here. Seems like a rush of blood to the head by Ayres, with all sorts of options. But it's bright from Sunderland, isn't it? Those wins over Norwich in the semi-final. Chelsea over 2 games in round 6. West Ham over 2 games in round 5. Those are the games that built the confidence, which has carried over into this FA Cup final so far, after an indifferent league season, to say the best of it. But so far the gap in the divisions is not showing itself, and that's great news for all the many, many neutrals watching all over the world. Of course, it must be said as well that all the many, many Liverpool fans watching all over the world won't need reminding that the last time they came into an FA Cup final as hot favourites against Wimbledon, they were on the receiving end of one of the all-time great upsets. Jones forward, into space for Dean Saunders. It's Liverpool's top scorer, Saunders. And once more. Might yet reach Nicol. He's done well, Steve Nicol. It's a corner to Liverpool. And when Liverpool do attack with pace, that's when Sunderland look slightly less comfortable. Set move. Houghton missed it. Seen him volley from there more than once this season. Michael Thomas. Houghton in space. McManaman. Mulby. Broken up in numbers by Sunderland. Well blocked this time by Houghton. No counter-attack. Wright. Elegantly by Mulby as ever to Jones. Little 1-2 with himself, played by Houghton. First touch from Mulby was good. Michael Thomas, not quite such a clever ball from him. Sunderland hold firm. Very entertaining first section to this FA Cup final. In by Houghton. Rush was the player who lost his footing. That's David Rush, and caught a glimpse there of Brian Atkinson, who, like so many of these Sunderland players today, can hardly believe the turn that their career has taken here in reaching this FA Cup final. John Byrne given a bit of room here. Armstrong was caught on his heels, and that allowed Rob Jones out to close the gap. Wasn't really expecting it, I don't think. Rogan. Liverpool didn't really press him. Fed it into Peter Davenport. Rogan with another chance. Liverpool again allow him to shoot. And Grobbelaar did have to stretch and get across. Well, Liverpool just seemed to stand off and invite Sunderland onto them then. I think Grobbelaar may have clipped his own head on the post as he goes down here. Let's look again. It's a well-struck shot and it bounces awkwardly in front of that post. Grobbelaar couldn't take any risk. But he is the one who ended up getting clattered, I think. Chance here, John Byrne! More than half a chance, and he wasn't offside. Well, it's a glaring opportunity, and will Sunderland rue that? Liverpool all over the place from a corner. It's often their biggest criticism. One or two defenders went to ground and went to sleep. Sunderland could, indeed should be in front. Well, the warnings are there for Liverpool, certainly. Mulby wide. Nicol. Thomas. Steve McManaman had come inside. Houghton. Little ball over the top, aimed at Thomas, who continued his run from midfield. It seems to be a problem for Sunderland, that the running of Michael Thomas from those central areas. Something they're going to have to try to deal with better. Well, you wouldn't say Liverpool are ever satisfied, but it's the Sunderland fans clearly whose hunger is the greater here coming to this FA Cup final. And the Sunderland players look pretty hungry out there too, don't they? Can Byrne make amends for that missed opportunity? Ara's free kick. Won by Armstrong. Grobbelaar punching, not clear. Liverpool looking less than solid defensively. Rogan. On by Armstrong. Rogan's gone again into the corner with Jones. He just overdid it. Free kick. Little unnecessary from Anton Rogan. Jones was under enough pressure, you felt. There might have been something there for Sunderland. Still, he showed up well down the left. Rogan made Grobbelaar work hard. Offside, I think it was Dean Saunders coming back a little slowly. Chance for Gary Bennett to launch one, perhaps. Armstrong coming in off that left flank. That's a set Sunderland move. Might just have been leaning on his man then, Gordon Armstrong. Pressed by Byrne. Again, it's a little slippy and a little shoddy as a result for Liverpool. Good pressure from David Rush. One or two little signs that Liverpool are having a dull spell here. Their level seems to have dropped and Sunderland pick it up. Byrne has won a throw for the underdogs, who've created chances here. Six players, as I mentioned, have never played at Wembley before, but you'd not know it, would you? Armstrong on for Sunderland. Again, Liverpool nervy. Mark Wright gets the blocking tackle in to deny Peter Davenport, and that was going in. Sunderland so close again. They left it to each other. It goes through the legs of Jones, and Wright just turns it round the post. Sunderland in the ascendant. Grobbelaar comes, and that's what Liverpool needed. Set pieces, time and again this season, Liverpool have looked uncomfortable dealing with them. And twice Sunderland have had clear chances denied. Thomas forward for Liverpool. Thought about going around Rogan, but he dealt with him well, Rogan. It was an excellent challenge. Second one by Atkinson. Break of the ball went Liverpool's way then. They've been the side under the pressure though. Houghton. Off the top of Bracewell's head. Rush stepped in to clear well. Sunderland looking very well organised by Malcolm Crosby. Just as they were in that hard-fought semi-final victory over Norwich. And although I mentioned all those players who've never appeared at Wembley before, maybe we should also point out that 6 other players in this Sunderland squad did appear here in the playoff against Swindon 2 years ago. And I think that's showing too. They are far from intimidated by the occasion or by the opposition here. And you can hear their fans. The Roker roar of old. Bennett came through Saunders, advantage played by Philip Don. Paul Bracewell using all his experience to tidy it up. It's a beautiful ball into Byrne, and he was almost clear, John Byrne. He thinks he was taken out. A little bit of quality in that Sunderland break. Liverpool need to respond in kind, but again Rogan wins a challenge. Armstrong was caught on his heels again, but picked it up. Forward by Rogan. Davenport running the channels intelligently. He's done better, Peter Davenport. Trying to go across Jones. Just about tidied up by Mark Wright again. Atkinson came in onto the loose ball. And Sunderland with another sight of goal. Here goes McManaman opening those legs for the first time. And he wins a free kick for Liverpool. Tug on the shirt by Kevin Ball. McManaman to Molby. Michael Thomas. No question, Liverpool have lost their way a little bit. It's been all Sunderland for the last 10 minutes. And that roar, the Roker roar, is growing in ferocity here. Armstrong, well picked up. Thomas fouled him. It's another Sunderland free kick. Grobbelaar wants a wall. 3 of them at least. Michael Thomas is just spare off the side of the wall, maybe as the man to run and try to block. Bracewell flicks it sideways to Rogan. Couldn't test Grobbelaar this time. The Northern Ireland international. The one thing we must say about Liverpool's players, speaking to them in this week of the Cup final, they were under no illusions about just what a tricky occasion this was going to be for them. And not just the memories of Wimbledon's FA Cup final win here. Bruce Grobbelaar was the one to point it out, actually. This very season, let's not forget, Liverpool were shocked by Peterborough in the Rumbelows League Cup. They're still hurting about that, some 6 months on. And you can be sure Ronnie Moran and Graham Souness haven't let them forget it either. Set up by Armstrong. Brian Atkinson came onto it. Certainly Grobbelaar's had more to do than Tony Norman at the other end. And even Molby's reduced to giving the ball away. That doesn't happen all that often, does it? Roy Evans takes a turn to scream out the instructions. Slip by Rogan. Ian Rush gets on it for Liverpool. Ray Houghton. Rush once more. Sunderland have got themselves organised now. And defending in numbers, they get the job done. There was a challenge late by Michael Thomas on Paul Bracewell. 50-50, he said to the referee. May well have been. Bracewell, another man whose career is a story of triumph against the odds, against injury. Rogan's had a good start to the game and gets a lucky break when his footing let him down. Not much seen of Steve McManaman for Liverpool. Byrne on the chase again, well read this time by Burrows. Saunders turned to chase one against Gary Bennett. McManaman. David Rush is doing an excellent job. He was helped then by Ball tidying it up, but David Rush made the first covering challenge on McManaman, and Liverpool have got a problem in getting McManaman free here. And again, this time it's Atkinson who's alert to the McManaman threat and covers him well. They've really prepared excellently. Saunders on Bennett. He's giving a few inches and quite a few pounds away in that physical battle, but he was adjudged the culprit then. Sunderland FA Cup winners in 1937 previously, and then against Leeds here in 1973 on a day that nobody with any Sunderland connection will ever forget. I'm not sure there'll be anybody left who remembers their FA Cup final appearance in pre-Wembley days in 1913. They were runners-up in that year. Finalists, of course, in the League Cup some 9 years ago, 84-85 season. Houghton charges on. Rogan and Bennett, good covering, good work together between them. Buys a bit of time at least. Rob Jones whips it in again. It's dropped for McManaman. Not the best first touch. And certainly not the best first touch from Steve Nicol coming onto it. The boyhood dream Wembley occasion so far for McManaman that it promised to be, given the season he's had, when so many of his schoolboy dreams have come true. So sharp onto anything dropping loose in the middle of the park, Sunderland. Byrne does look a menace here up front. Mulby needed too long on it. Maybe feels he wasn't getting the movement that he thrives on for his passing. Jones to right. That's Amos. Not good enough from Liverpool for their fans, you feel here. Not been good enough, finishing 6th in Division 1 this season. And anything less than taking the FA Cup back to Merseyside tonight is totally unacceptable. John Byrne, again he makes life difficult, and again with the confidence of a man who's scored in every round. Saw the opportunity, might have been better that time to look for a colleague, but Sunderland do look to him. He's become a talisman on this cup run, snaffling vital goals all the way along this road to Wembley. Started in round 3 at home to Port Vale. Winners at Oxford in round 4. And then those big ties in round 5 and round 6 against West Ham and Chelsea, won in each case after a replay by Sunderland, showing great character. McManaman. Houghton. Rob Jones. Armstrong got a foot in, helped on into Ian Rush's path, and a huge roar greets Gary Bennett as he steers it back to Norman. Byrne under no pressure. David Rush for Sunderland. Gary Owers arrives to help. Now he needs a good cross this time, and he can't deliver for the second time from an excellent position. Big frustration. He's such a good athlete now he's fit again, Owers. Can run all day long, but Sunderland do need a bit more precision than that. Burrows slipped. Perhaps this Wembley surface is even softer underfoot than one or two of the players were expecting. Helped on by Rush. Davenport tried to slip it back to David Rush. The great thing for Sunderland in this first half, all the players who've played at top level, the likes of Davenport, Byrne, Bracewell, they're all at it and all giving very good displays, and that's dragging the others along, maybe some of the younger players in this Sunderland side today. But we can't say of any of the Sunderland players that the occasion is proving too much for them. If anything, it's Liverpool who've got to lift it. Now they've given McManaman the chance to have a dart. Goes around the outside of Owers, but he was never threatening Steve McManaman to get on the end of it. Sunderland can't believe that Liverpool have got the corner. It looked for all the world as though Owers had shepherded it to safety. Even better, it's a free kick. Now, will Liverpool profit from that? No is the answer, and Sunderland feel a little bit aggrieved. The debate's continuing with referee Philip Don, because they thought it should never have been a free kick in the first place. Souness, let's hope he can restore himself to full health after such a trying period in his life. The debate raged all week as to whether he would travel with the team. Crosby and Coer off the bench for Sunderland. They sense something here. Armstrong again won a clean header coming in from that left side. He's played plenty as a striker, of course, coming through the ranks, and that's a little bit of a weapon working for Sunderland here. Houghton to Mulby. Everything seeming to go through him for Liverpool. That's a little more promising when Saunders came short, but he didn't make a good connection on it. Steadily done by Wright. On by Jones. McManaman, Bracewell, slid in. Liverpool building promisingly. Steve Nicol joins in. It's the most threatening moment for a while at this end. Arrows dealt with it. More work for Houghton to do here down this side. He gets it, just. Right to Thomas. Jones. In by Houghton. Rush came and showed for it. Saunders picked it off. Nicol. They're going sideways, really, Liverpool. Where is the stinging end product? Doesn't come. Rush again dealt with Nicol down that side very comfortably. Now Houghton maybe to invent something. Not the slickness that Liverpool were hoping for today in their passing, certainly. And at this stage, perhaps Liverpool fans are beginning to feel the loss of John Barnes, certainly, and the polish of Ronnie Whelan also. Bracewell for Sunderland. Bernard checked out wide. First little glimpse of sunshine at Wembley today. Very cool this morning. Sunderland fans who must have travelled here, perhaps again with memories of that Leeds Cup final when it was a similar day to today. Davenport stopped by Burrows. Of course, on that all-time famous occasion, Sunderland's goal came through Ian Porterfield at the end that they now attack, and they've had their moments in this half too, plenty of them. Byrne did it well. David Rush. Davenport showing in the box. Out as far as Atkinson. Again, it's that set move with Armstrong coming in from the left flank to try to put pressure on Jones. Jones dealt with it extremely well. Mulby to McManaman. He's gone again here, McManaman. Bennett went against him well. Very well. As ever in the FA Cup, you look at this Sunderland performance and you ask, how is it that they can finish as low as 18th in Division 2 this season? Not that far off the relegation places. Steve McManaman. Two Liverpool men on their heels in the centre of the area. Well won by Bracewell. And returned by Wright, clattering into Byrne. Mark Wright's gone over to take Gary Bennett under this high ball. He got the header in there just ahead of Bennett. Again, it's not very well tidied up by Liverpool. Houghton eventually gets it forward, and then Mulvey allows it to run away from him. And you can sense the wave of anxiety building up in the Liverpool fans here. They need something. Dean Saunders might be the man to provide it for them. He's gone a long way. Tony Norman always seemed to have it in hand. Saunders makes the angle quite narrow for himself. Norman on the 6-yard line, but no further out. Perfect. Rush to Houghton. Liverpool well below their best, certainly so far. McManaman. Might break for Thomas. Mulvey. Jones. Had to do something individually and did it well. Norman stayed on his line. Much better from Liverpool. McManaman coming in from that side. Beautiful cross from Rob Jones. And just for once, Sunderland looked slightly less comfortable defensively. Good piece of invention to get past Armstrong. McManaman might have done better with it. And that's lifted spirits in the Liverpool support, certainly. Now, it's Houghton. Thomas's run was superbly blocked by Atkinson. It's 0-0, and that's good news for Sunderland. Off by Byrne to Armstrong. Looked early for Davenport. Wright taking him. Twisting and turning Davenport as he's done throughout his career. Off Mark Wright for a Sunderland corner. Yet another one in this first half. Now, will Liverpool look any more authoritative here? Dealing with it. Atkinson to take. John Byrne is the player near post. That was aimed at him. Hook clear by Saunders. Nice idea again from Byrne, trying to take it on the half turn. Ian Rush. Bennett's out to track him. Liverpool looking to counter-attack. On quickly to McManaman. It's another excellent block by David Rush. He's living up to the occasion, isn't he? Saunders. Not sure he got clean contact on it. Houghton for Liverpool, trying to invent one. Well, you look around this Liverpool side, and so many of the players involved here have got so many medals already in their personal trophy cabinets. But with 40 minutes played in this FA Cup final, we know already that Liverpool are going to have to work very hard if they are to add to their tally today. Reputations are counting for little. Mulvey to Jones. The one time in the first half that Rob Jones has got forward down the right for Liverpool, he produced probably their best cross of the half. Mainly it's funneled out the other side to McManaman and to Nicol outside him. Here's Mulvey. Ambitious even for the Great Dane. Miscue by Rush slightly. Thomas off to Houghton. Getting more involved, more centrally here, Houghton. Was it out? Yes. Sunderland have been able to sit in. Look at Bracewell, centre screen there, the captain, just calming people down around him. Sitting in, making Liverpool pass it before they make any progress. Giving Sunderland the time to get themselves well organised, and that's what they've been in this first half. And as it's developed, it's got harder and harder for Liverpool to pass their way through, as we know they can. Flick on by Armstrong, off the heels of Jones, drop for John Byrne. Picked out some help from David Rush. Davenport on the turn. McManaman. Nicol to right. Michael Thomas. No way through once more. Houghton to Mulvey. Rush collected. He was crowded out. Might get a second chance here though, Ian Rush. Just as he was getting into his stride, he seemed to be caught. McManaman has changed sides. It's Steve McManaman for Liverpool, and this is much more promising. They cannot believe that Philip Dunn has not given a penalty. He seemed clearly to be taken out by Paul Bracewell. Have Sunderland been given a life by this referee? Davenport now. No time for an inquest. Sunderland on the counter. It's John Byrne. Linking well with Davenport. Didn't really have the pace to get away from Burrows. The help's arrived though. And now listen to the chorus of boos. This angle may tell us more. He goes easily past Armstrong, McManaman. Twists inside Bracewell, who then comes back here for a second go. Not conclusive, that evidence. Either way. One thing we must say in mitigation, there wasn't a lot of protest from the other Liverpool players. Saunders hustling. Again, Norman timing his excursion from the line perfectly. Rob Harris, the linesman on this side, would have been instrumental in that decision. No penalty. It's half-time in this FA Cup final, a half that has gone pretty much according to plan for Sunderland. They even got the benefit of the big refereeing decision of the half. Graham Souness, Ronnie Moran and Liverpool will not be pleased, not only with that decision. Houghton's leading the inquiries now, but in general play, Liverpool have been below their best today, certainly. They created one or two bright moments early on, but Sunderland have got an excellent game plan for this FA Cup final. John Byrne has had one or two clear chances, and Sunderland have certainly created the bulk of the opportunities in the half. Sadly for them, they have nothing to show for it, but we know already that Liverpool are in a real game here in this FA Cup final. It's Liverpool 0, Sunderland 0 at half-time.